So the Champions League final ends PSG 5, Inter Milan nil in what was definitely one of, if not the most one-sided final in any cup competition that I can remember seeing for the longest time anyway. And that man on the right-hand side, he was just sensational on the night, as well as the whole PSG team, to be fair. Definitely, obviously, if the scoreline doesn't already reflect it at 5-0, the right team won the game. Inter Milan, I think, threatened Donnarumma once in the entire game. It does beg the question that if Barcelona had gotten through with their more attacking impetus, what the game maybe would have panned out as, or if Inter Milan had scored first and sat in, how it would have gone. But PSG absolutely deserved winners of the Champions League, and they become first-time champions of the Champions League as well. And it was very well deserved with how they've done since the league phase is finished. They've been pretty much on top in all of their ties, and have gone on to deservedly win it. They were saying on commentary that the team is extremely young, and if they keep the core talent there and potentially add to it, then they could go back-to-back next season. Who knows? Obviously, Real Madrid, new management team in place. Real Madrid are always a team that will have a chance, and Mbappe in particular will want to get a win now that his old employers have done it a year after he left as well, and he would have went to Real Madrid to win the Champions League, so who knows how he's feeling. But on the game itself, I mean, the quality of PSG's play all night, their pressing when they'd lost the ball to get it back, particularly Kvaratskhelia, he was winning the ball back constantly off of the likes of Dumfries. He was putting in such a good shift defensively to win the ball back on numerous occasions tonight. But the goals themselves, I mean, the first goal, the pass from Vitinha and the take from Doué to turn and provide Hakimi with the simplest of goals. Hakimi's been getting a bit of stick online for not celebrating, even though it was his old club in the Champions League final. But the way the goal was worked, it was just a really, really lovely work goal. And then the second goal comes from Doué again. A little bit of luck with the deflection, but he strikes it well, 2-0. And at that point, I was saying to my mates that it's game over at that point already with 2-0. PSG only looked like they were going to score more. And of course, in the second half, it did come. Doué was released one-on-one with Sommer, and he did put it in the back of the net with what was an off-balance shot. At first I thought he'd maybe hit the side netting, but 3-0, game-set match already at that point with 15-20 minutes to go. Barcola could have made it more as well, where he was breaking defenders' legs and all sorts, and then he can't quite get in on the act from there, but he does get his assist later on. Substitute whose name's escaping me at the moment, 18 years old, did score in the game as well. But before then, we got Kvaratskhelia getting a goal in on the act from a Dembele pass as well. But it was just no threat from Inter at all. It's such a one-sided final, and I think most people would agree that Inter never got into the game whatsoever. So it's been a bit of a damp squib of an ending to the season for Inter, losing the league by 1 point, losing the Champions League final to the biggest margin in history. PSG history makers for winning the Champions League tonight and doing that. And they also mentioned on commentary that it's the 5th time in a row that the final's been held in Munich where it's our first time winner, which is a bit of a crazy stat as well. But that, obviously, we've got the Club World Cup coming up, and then we've got the Super Cup final between PSG and Spurs. But that is going to be that for the reaction to the Champions League final. Not much more to say other than what's been covered. It was a totally dominant performance from PSG, and if they can keep that momentum going, they could potentially add to that Champions League final victory next season. If you are new around here, please consider liking and subscribing and checking out some of the other content on the channel. Thank you very much to all the new viewers and subscribers, and I'll catch you in the next one.